In this video, we're going to talk about the Sigma FP. We're going to talk about what it's for and who it's for. Maybe it's for you. Let's find out. Yeah. Greetings, fellow human. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Barron. Let's talk about the Sigma FP. Before we talk about anything else, I'm going to talk about the coolest thing about this camera. The fact that it is only $1,900 and it is a full-frame cinema camera that shoots RAW video. What? I was hoping that the sensor was going to be a Foveon sensor because it's just fun to say Foveon. However, this is just a regular Bayer sensor, just a regular run-of-the-mill, average, everyday, nothing special, 24.6 megapixel backside illuminated sensor. You know, it looks like what Sigma's trying to do with this camera is kind of change the concept of what a camera can be. It's like a whole new sort of system. It's we've seen modular cameras before, like RED cameras and things like that, but this is a little different. It has little modules that you can make it into a just regular photography camera, you know, for click, 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 or you can do the cinema camera, or, you know, you could rig it up for whatever uses you have. Large scale productions, smaller, medium size, you know, it's the Goldilocks camera. You just rig it out to what you need. And most of the hype and the marketing and what everyone's talking about this camera is the cinema stuff and the video specs, but they actually, one of the first modules that they released for this is a photography module that you can attach, and it actually, you can put the flash unit on it, so you can actually rig it out and use it, you know, for flash photography. The photography definitely is not the primary focus of the camera. However, they did not bother to put a mechanical shutter in it. There isn't one. You know, it's one of the ways that they kept it so small. They're just like, shutter? Psh, we don't need that. And because it doesn't have a mechanical shutter, there's only one other kind of shutter option that is available currently, and that is, you know, an electronic shutter. So it has one of those. You can use that electronic shutter up to 1/8,000th of a second, which is super fast, and you can also use it for long exposure photography for up to 30 seconds, and it also has a bulb mode. Now, as far as photography goes, the ISO range goes all the way up to 25,600, and you get the extended range of 102,400, which is ridiculous and probably looks awful, but you can do it. As far as, you know, continuous shooting, you know, the burst modes for the sports and whatnot, it can do all the way up to 18 frames per second raw capture, like raw photos, just does the whole thing. Now, because there is not a mechanical shutter, it might have some, you know, some of that, you don't want the jello. Jello's delicious, but not in pictures. Doesn't taste good in pictures. And on its little tiny small body, it does have a microphone input jack, but it does not have a headphone jack. So, yeah. Although I wouldn't be too surprised to see a module that would provide that in the near future, or distant future, or just future in general, whatever range. It has a micro HDMI port, so, you know, it is a tiny body. I guess they couldn't fit the entire, like, full-sized HDMI, but it does have micro HDMI, which is better than no HDMI. It also has a USB-C, which is good because that means that it's modern. It's not, you know, like a caveman, you know, USB-A or B. Cavemen. That's who used those. Cavemen. It has a 2.1 million dot 3-inch touchscreen on the back, but it is not an articulating touchscreen at all. It is a fixed. It is just attached to the back. It's like, no movement. And it has a single USB-C 2 card slot. So because there's only one, that means that this is not a professional camera. That only amateurs can use this. Professionals would never use a camera like this because there's only one card slot. But wait! Apparently with this camera, you can use the modern and up-to-date USB-C port to record your media directly to that, so you can have redundancy. And now I don't know if you can do to the card as well as the thing at the same time, but probably can. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to because, you know, reasons, but that's awesome. So maybe it is professional because you have that option. Maybe. I don't know. It does a lot of cool video things, including 4K up to 30 frames per second. It does 1080 all the way up to 120 frames per second. But, you know, that's pretty standard run-of-the-mill stuff. But if you are recording externally out of that USB-C or maybe the HDMI. I'm not too clear on that. But if you're recording externally, you can get 422 12-bit. 12-bit. 10-bit's good. 10-bit's real good. 12-bit is way better. Seriously, it's good. And it records raw video. And in order to do that, you can't do that straight to the card. It does say specifically that you have to use the USB-C straight to another, recording device for that. But, I mean, raw video, full frame, cinemaness, 12-bit. 12-bit. As far as the battery solution in the itty-bitty tiny body, it does use the Sigma BP51, which is a 12,000 milliamp battery. So you should get some time from it. Not a whole lot. We'll have to wait and see. But it's a smaller battery because it fits in a smaller camera. But again, this is a modular camera, so very likely to see much more robust powering options if you're going to be using it for more cinema-like stuff. There's a lot of competition that's going on right now as far as small form factor cinema cameras. You've got stuff from Blackmagic they have their Pocket Cinema 4K as well as the 6K, and then you've got that stuff from Zcam. That's some super interesting stuff. They've got 4Ks and 6Ks, and I think they have an 8K. I don't know, but they got some cool stuff too. But the big thing that separates the FP from the other stuff that's going on right now is the fact that it's a full frame sensor and it's under $2,000. That's amazing. And I know some people are probably thinking right now, yeah, but it's $2,000, then you have to buy modules and do this and add all that stuff. And the same really holds true to those other cameras in the same price point. But the benefit of this kind of concept, this modular concept that's going on right now, is that you can just get what you need for what you do. So you get a super high quality camera and you just buy the add-ons, modules, whatever you want to call it, that you actually are going to use. If you're going to be shooting a full high-end, Netflix TV show with one of these cameras, you're going to rig it out completely differently than if you're using it to make a high quality YouTube video. But nowadays you can use the same camera, the same main unit, to do both of those things, and they would be awesome. And another thing that differentiates the FP is its size. It is very, very small. You add that size as well as all of the other stuff that you can add to it, and it's just basic functionality, being able to shoot raw and that sort of stuff. This is a problem-solving camera for a lot of productions. I think as far as professionals go, the main use for this camera is to solve problems. This camera will fit where you cannot fit a Red or an Arri Alexa, or even something like the H1 from Panasonic, that, because it's still bigger. That's bigger. You can fit this in it's like the GoPro of cinema cameras. That's what this is. It's tiny. And again, because it's small, you can put this on a drone. You could, it'd be a larger drone, but you can put this on a drone and get high quality shots very inexpensively and quickly from, that's awesome. As well as gimbals. You can put it on a gimbal and that would speed up productions it's solving problems. That's what it's for. A lot of people are freaking out because apparently it has a function on it that it can act like a director's viewfinder. And that's cool, but I don't know how many directors are gonna, pull out their FP to be like, let's see what this shot needs to look like. I'll pull out my Sigma FP and find, I don't know, wouldn't they actually just want the view? Maybe that's just me, because I think the viewfinders are neat. But actually this is neat too, so I guess, that's pretty cool. So I'm not entirely sure what the FP stands for, but from this point forward, I am convinced that it stands for fixes problems. The Sigma fixes problems. That's what it's for. So I don't think that this is a camera that people who are inexperienced with cameras in general are going to flock to. This is a camera where other professionals and hobbyists and just people that work with cameras, they're going to look at this seriously because it does solve a lot of problems that come up in productions. It's a really, really cool concept, and if it's implemented well, it's going to do well. But this is not a camera that you're going to put in the hands of a film student and say, go make a film. It's not going to, they're better cameras to give them that's going to help them tell their story better to start with. this is something that they might move into when they realize what it is their problems are, because this seems to be a camera that solves those. I absolutely love the fact that they did add functionality for stills, and even if it's not the greatest stills camera ever, if you have this camera on set to do something like the director's viewfinder, then you can also take stills with it. That means you've got production and reference stills right there in your pocket, or on hand anyway. So that kind of functionality, again, it solves other problems. It makes things super streamlined and fast. This would be a great tool to have on just about any set, even a small YouTube set like this one. Although I don't have a whole lot of problems on this set, I just think the camera's cool, and I want one because it's cool. So do you think that the Sigma FP is a cool camera? Is it something that you might purchase, or is it just a weird, crazy concept that's never going to catch on? Why don't you tell me all about it in the video pants down there, and we'll talk about it. But remember, be kind. This is a kind and wholesome community. Wholesome. If I do my hands like this, it makes me seem calm and wise. If you liked this video, do the thing where the thumb goes up. If you did not like this video, do the thing where the thumb goes down. And this wholesome and fantastic community will not like you at all. Not in the slightest. If you want to see more videos like this one in the future, including tutorials and whatever else I might feel like making, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and you gotta ring the bell. Ring it. Ring it. And that is everything I've got for you today, so go ahead and take your camera, whatever camera it may be, take it out in the world and make something awesome. Yeah.